Hi, I'm April Gareb, and I'm going to do my informative speech on unhealthy additives in our everyday foods. You may remember Sunday dinners at Grandma's with all-day roasted turkey with mashed potatoes and gravy, homemade biscuits and jam, and maybe fresh churned ice cream to be enjoyed on the front porch. Well, the difference in those meals that Grandma had and the meals that we have today is that probably mostly all of Grandma's foods come fresh out of the garden. Today's foods are filled with additives and preservatives, which with some being not so bad for us, others, if the health effects be known, we would wonder, how are we still even living after consuming all these? Well, as a current nursing student, I'm trying to learn more about the foods that I, as well as my family, eats on a daily basis. I'm learning about the human body and how it's functioning, and I'm also learning about what foods are vital for healthy living and what foods could stand to be cut out of my diet. I've learned that all we have to do to know more about our foods is just to take a second to learn a little about the ingredients on the side of the packaging of the foods that we buy. Now, I'm sure that everyone here today wants to know what it is that they're putting into their bodies. Say, for instance, someone comes to you and they want you to close your eyes and give you a taste of something without you knowing what it is. I think we would all be a little hesitant because we want to know what it is that we're putting into our bodies. Well, I'm wanting to provide you some information today so that the additives that are added to our foods will be known, and you'll know a little bit more about these additives, what foods they're in, how they react to our bodies, and that way you can walk away knowing if the foods you're buying are beneficial to your health or if they are unhealthy. Unhealthy additives that are put into our everyday foods not only cause our bodies harm, but the illnesses and diseases that we suffer from have been linked back to the foods that we're consuming. I'm going to talk to you today about 5 major additives that are in most of the foods that we're buying and preparing. Whenever we open up a box of mashed potatoes or a can of peas, we assume that it's just that. Well, we fail to recognize the side of the ingredients list that has words that are hard to pronounce, much less words that you can understand what they are. So the first additive that I'll be talking about is one that's found in just about every aisle of the grocery store in some form or another. It's high fructose corn syrup. Now, high fructose corn syrup is a sweetener that is much cheaper than natural sugar. It's much sweeter, and it's highly processed. It's found in lots of places, but the main place that you'll find this is in our sodas and soft drinks. Mark Hyman, which is a medical doctor, posted in the Huffington Post in November of 2013 on why you should never eat high fructose corn syrup, and he states that the average 20-ounce soda can contains 15 teaspoons of sugar, with all of it being high fructose corn syrup. And when you eat sugar in those doses, it becomes a toxin. It can also be found in cereals, ketchups, and fruit juices. I have yet to find a ketchup today that does not have high fructose corn syrup as an ingredient. The biggest concern with large amounts of high fructose corn syrup consumption is obesity. Princeton University conducted a study of high fructose corn syrup on lab mice, and I found alarming statistic that says, on average, Americans consume 60 pounds of this sweetener per person per year. The second additive we may find, especially at the deli counter, is sodium nitrates and nitrites. Now, these are added to meats to cure them, to prevent spoilage, as well as preventing bacterial growth. They're found mostly in deli meats, but also in hot dogs and bacon as well. Shape Magazine conducted a study in 2009, and they found that kids who ate cured meats or fish more than once a week had a 74% greater risk of leukemia than the children who rarely ate these foods. The next additive we'll discuss is one that you may find yourself adding to your coffee or getting from your diet sodas: aspartame. Now, aspartame is an artificial sweetener that is used as a sugar substitute. It's found in diet sodas, as well as packets of artificial sweeteners such as NutraSweet and Equal. It's found in most chewing gums, as well as sugar-free Kool-Aid. Aspartame is being used in over 6,000 consumer goods and nearly 50 pharmaceutical products, including children's medications. In the U.S., more than 70% of aspartame sales are attributed to soft drinks. Did you know that according to Dr. Joseph Mercola, who wrote for the Huffington Post, there has been more reports made to the FDA for aspartame reactions than all other food additives combined? While a variety of symptoms have been reported, almost 2/3 of them fall into the neurological and behavioral category, consisting mostly of headaches, mood alterations, and hallucinations. The remaining third is mostly gastrointestinal symptoms. Now, the fourth additive is one that you may not really think about being a health concern, but it's artificial food coloring. Many food companies add color to their foods because, well, simply, pretty colors sell. Think of Skittles, cupcake sprinkles, Kool-Aids. Kids and many adults adore the colors, and that's what they're pulled into buying. Now, these are found in candies. They're found in packets of Kool-Aid, as well as yogurts and pickles. According to an article in Forbes magazine, red number 2 causes intestinal tumors in rats, and yellow number 5 for hyperactivity, anxiety, migraines, and cancer. Now, for the last but not least additive is MSG. It stands for monosodium glutamate. It's a flavor enhancer that's most known for its presence in Chinese foods. It can also be found in canned vegetables and processed meats, but also in packets of processed noodles and ramen. Dr. Joseph Mercola from the Huffington Post states that many adverse effects have been linked to regular consumption of MSG, including obesity, headaches, and depression. So now that I've told you what the most used additives are, where they're found, and how they affect the human body, I hope that you walk away today knowing what is beneficial as well as not so beneficial for you and your family. All it takes is just a second on looking at the ingredients list, and maybe that will keep you and your loved ones out of harm's way of getting some of the diseases and illnesses that are brought on by these harmful additives in our foods. Thank you.